If you are thinking about moving to Destin, Florida, this is a video you cannot miss. I'm going to break down everything for you. We're going to pull up a map. I'm going to show you the different areas of Destin, where the houses are, where the condos are, what the lifestyle is in each individual section, because Destin is so dynamic. So whether you're looking for luxury or you're looking for a laid-back lifestyle, we've got them both in this video for you to help you kind of pinpoint where at in Destin you'd like to move to. Let's jump in with a map tour. Let's go to the computer. All right, so we've got our map pulled up here. I want to break down the four main different areas of Destin first, and then start talking about each one and what you can kind of expect in there. And then I'll talk about some amenities or things to do in the area. I guess they're not really amenities, but things to do in the area. Golf courses, places to shop, best places to go to the beach, things like that. So I'm just going to kind of walk you through all of this. So looking at our Google map here, excuse all these random things that are in here. It's Google at its finest. This is the primary area that I'm going to be talking about in this entire video. There is a couple of parts that I'm going to jump off to show you a couple of things as we go. But for the most part, this is going to be kind of where we're staying. Excuse me, and we're going to swap back and forth between this view and of course the satellite view, because this is going to give us some pretty cool stuff as well. So let's go ahead and start breaking this down. I'm going to break down the four different areas first, and then we're going to go over some different things to do. Then we're going to go over some home prices, because as you guys know, if you guys are a longtime viewer of this channel, I am a real estate agent first. I run a real estate team here servicing Pensacola to Panama City Beach and everything in between, to include Destin, which is probably one of our primary spots. So if you have any questions related to real estate, you want to reach out to us, what have you, write down my number. We're going to throw it in right here. Write this down. So that when you're busy, you've got it somewhere that you can easily access whenever you're ready to pick up the phone and have a conversation with us. We will schedule a one-on-one consultation with you to really deep dive the same kind of stuff. We'll pull up the map, we'll go over the different areas, we'll kind of walk you through what it looks like to live in whichever area in our service area that we handle. Again, Pensacola to Panama City Beach. But when we are looking at this is Destin. To get your guys' bearings here, I'm gonna zoom out just a little bit here. And we've got Pensacola, which, a lot of people know about. And then we got Panama City Beach, which, again, a lot of people know about. And, of course, a lot of people know about Destin, too. But I still want to get the bearings a little bit. It's about an hour drive each way, maybe a little bit more, hour 15, something like that, depending, of course, depending on traffic. Because, anybody that's been to our area knows that sometimes we have traffic. It's a real thing. So let's go ahead and zoom on in. Whenever we're looking at this, I don't have like a drawing tool on here, I don't believe, which would be cool. But basically right where you see this bridge 293 is, that's kind of like our little XY axis, if you will, right? So we're going to have Destin northwest, northeast, southeast, and southwest. And then, of course, there's some cool things like Henderson Beach State Park and stuff like that that we'll talk about too. So when we're looking at this, a large majority of people that want to move to this area are going to end up in this northwest area of Destin. There's just a lot of houses out here. Now, it just kind of depending on the lifestyle that you're looking for, this is going to be sort of your, I don't want to say cookie cutter, but this is where a large majority of people are living that maybe don't care about being in a luxury neighborhood, or maybe can't see themselves living in a condo maybe, or something like that. This is where a large chunk of them are going to be. We do have some gated communities throughout this as well. And there is still kind of a luxury, kind of an older luxury neighborhood here as well that we'll go over. One of the big things I want you to notice right up front when we switch to the satellite view is there is an airport right here smack in the middle of Destin. Now, it's a Destin Executive Airport. If you've never flown into this when you were visiting here, or if you've never visited here, you don't know what I'm talking about, that's fine. This is a smaller airport. It is mainly for private aircraft and charter aircrafts, as well as some kind of like off the name or off the wall named brands, like JSX is one of them that I fly out of here. But for the most part, a lot of people don't come in and out of here unless you're flying private or chartering an aircraft. Where you will generally be is over here at the Destin Fort Walton Beach Airport, which is attached to the military base here, Eglin. You can kind of see the different runways here. This is where most people will fly into. So it's about a 30-minute drive to get into Destin from there. So just kind of giving you guys a quick overview, we do have one golf course here in this area. This is the, my mind is escaping me right now. I should have it on here any second. because it is not Indian Bayou Golf and Country Club. Geez. So that's the one golf course that we have in this part of town. We do have two others we're going to be talking about. But the reason I'm bringing this up is because this is surrounding Indian Bayou, which is a neighborhood here in Destin. You can kind of see it all around here. This is going to be a little bit of a fancier, kind of like an older neighborhood, 1980s, 70s, 80s, 90s. But it was like the ritzy part of town back in the day. And then now it's just, there's still a little bit pricier homes. You've got a bunch here right on the water that are obviously very, very expensive, depending on, what your budget is. It's actually kind of a budget-friendly area to get on the water in for Destin. Obviously, if you get on the Gulf side, it is going to be a lot more expensive, especially for a single-family home if you're not in a condo or something like that. You can definitely get fairly reasonable in a condo on the beach as well. We'll talk about that here in a minute. But as you can see here on the satellite, we've got lots and lots and lots and lots of homes. We've got Destin Elementary School here. You've got just a series of different neighborhoods. And then all about right here, this little section here, a good chunk of this is businesses. And then a little bit over here, there's some townhomes right here. And then more businesses. And it kind of keeps going like this throughout the entire area. And then if you visited here before, you've probably seen Big Kahuna's, one of our big water parks out here, that I think just closed for the season. I just saw all the pools and stuff emptied out, so should be shut down for a little bit. And then, of course, you've got the infamous Chick-fil-A, some other condos, and then we start getting into another section of town. What I want to focus on here for you guys is just kind of giving you guys like a rough idea of what life here would be like if you're living in this side of town. So one of the big benefits of living in the northwest portion of Destin is, number one, the better prices. Out of every area we're going to talk about, this is going to be one of the better priced areas in general, at least for single family homes. You're not going to see a whole lot of condos out here. There's a couple, but you're not going to see too many of them. It's going to be primarily townhomes and single family homes, and then there's a couple of smaller condos and stuff. But what's cool about this is when you're living up here, first off, you're dodging most of the traffic, depending on which side you're going to be going on. We will get some traffic here on Okaloosa Island if you're heading into Fort Walton Beach. And of course, once we go past about the Commons, you can start seeing the Destin Commons I'll talk about here in a second. So that's about right here, right where that kind of T intersection is, or that cross section is, that we're using as a tool to kind of split up Destin for you. So depending on which side you're going, you can definitely dodge a lot of that traffic. But the cool thing is there's a lot of back roads and stuff up here through neighborhoods that if you live back there and you know there's going to be traffic, your GPS will take you the best route possible to avoid that, because this whole area can get pretty congested, particularly during the summer, 4th of July weekend, any other big weekends during the summer as well, definitely can get a little bit busy. So again, mostly single family homes and townhomes. You got some here on the bay. You can see these docks here. Some beautiful, beautiful homes, beautiful neighborhoods as well. You got a nice little bayou right here. And it's just this is sort of like the cookie cutter area to live in. If you're trying to save a little bit of money, but you still want to be in Destin, this is going to be a great spot for you. I'm actually going to show you guys. I'm going to go to Zillow. I was going to use our MLS system, but I think more people know Zillow, so it'll be a little bit more recognizable. That's the only reason I'm doing this on here instead of through our multiple listing service. Let's see here. I'm not sure why it's not showing anything. Okay, I guess we're not going to use this. We are going to use the MLS after all, because I don't know why it's giving us a hard time. So this is actually a really good point. As I was kind of mentioning before, the 4 different areas, this will give you a pretty good visual here. You've got all these little green dots. These are all individual properties that are for sale. In this area, it's mostly condos. But as you can kind of see, when we go up here to this section, you see a little bit less over here. Then you go to the northwest section, that's where you'll see a huge bulk of it. And then Destin Beach East, which will be out here right by Henderson Beach State Park. This is where the Crystal Beach area and stuff is. Really cool area down there too. But the main area we're talking about right now is this the northwest portion of it, and it's going all the way, wrapping around all the way Indian Bayou out here, and the rest of the section. So when we're looking at prices here, let's go ahead and go to the detail. Actually, I'm going to go to the list section. It'll be a little bit easier to see these. I'm going to price it from the cheapest all the way to the most expensive. You can get into Destin as low as $185,000, which is definitely awesome. This is a 1-bed, 1-bathroom, 800 square foot property. I'm just going to click through some of it. It's probably not going to be the fanciest thing in the world because obviously it's the least expensive. You've got a real small kitchen. You know, sort of basic, really good for a rental, most likely, depending on which unit this is. This is Golf Terrace. So definitely good for that. They do have a good short-term rental program over there. And then, of course, it scales all the way up. We go all the way to the bottom here. I just kind of want to show you guys like the range is kind of the main intent here. Whenever you're moving, this is going to be one of your largest expenses is your house. For the most part, our cost of living all throughout this area is going to be relatively the same. Now, there's a big jump between the second most expensive property and the first. I actually haven't seen this one yet. This one must have just popped on the market not too long ago. It's been 2 months, actually, so it's been on here a little bit. So this is $20 million, probably not what everybody is looking for. Nice little corner area into the bayou right there. Looks like Kelly Plantation, just by my quick look. Yep, Kelly Plantation. It's one of the neighborhoods we're going to be talking about here. So definitely cool. And then, you know, $5.5 million is generally where most of these properties are at. With the bulk of this, you know, if I went around, let's say 110th property, that'll kind of give us a good idea on where the middle ground is. You're looking at around, call it 400 to 500,000. So very reasonable for a lot of folks. This is why this part of town is very popular with a lot of people. And of course, you know, all the great schools and everything it has. So you've got this neighborhood over here, Indian Bayou. I want to kind of point this out and show you. You got one right here. No, that's Palms of Destin. Let's go into... Let's do a quick search. By the way, guys, this quick search that we're doing right here, if you guys want broker level access to this program, we can definitely give that to you. We do need to sit down with you and have a consultation. We can't just give it out to anybody with any rules and stuff that are in place. But we definitely can work that with you. Where is my project name? Let's go to Indian Bayou. So this is one of the 3 neighborhoods that we're going to be going over today in today's video. This is kind of the better priced of the 3, at least usually. As you can see here, it's ranging from about, let me make sure it's sorted and ascending, 500 all the way up to about 3 million. There's only 7 properties for sale in Indian Bayou right now. Like I said, Indian Bayou was primarily kind of a luxury neighborhood in the 80s. That's why you're seeing 1985, 1979 right here, 1981. So you're looking at homes that are a little bit older that have withstood the test of time. So big benefit there is for hurricanes and stuff. It survived Opal, which was one of the biggest hurricanes we had here, and it survived, my name, it's escaping me. There was another big one as well, Ivan. Opal and Ivan. So very good built homes. I'm not saying that hurricane can't take them down by any means, but they just built them better back then, in my opinion. So you can kind of see a little bit of the difference. I'm going to scroll through some of these photos, just kind of show you kind of what the low end in Indian Bayou looks like. Still very beautiful home. You know, it's got a little bit of that like wood trim sort of stuff that could be, that could do a lot for this house to kind of upgrade it and make it look a little bit more natural. And then we go kind of in the middle here at around 800,000. You got a pool at this one, 2-car garage. They're moved out of this one, so there's no furniture or anything. But cool little place. Well, I say little, it's, you know, 2,700 square feet. And they're all right around this golf course, right? Because it is Indian Bayou Golf Course. That's kind of where it gets its name, is from the neighborhood. Some of them are right here on this lake, and then, or sorry, on this bayou, while others are not. So this is just one of the neighborhoods. This is going to be a little bit more calm neighborhood. It's going to be sort of, it's not going to be as like, hey, get to know your neighbors. That's going to be a little bit more Regatta Bay and a little bit more Kelly Plantation, which we'll talk about in one of the other sections here in a moment. We'll talk about Kelly Plantation in this section as well. But Kelly Plantation is definitely going to be one where it's like really get to know your neighbors. They're very inviting over there. And it's not that Indian Bayou isn't inviting. It's just a different kind of neighborhood because it's more established. It's been out for, you know, or been established or been built a long time ago. A lot of these people have lived there since it was built. Some of them have not. Some of them moved in and out. So it's just not going to give you the same vibe as something like Kelly Plantation or Regatta Bay does, but still a very good place to go. Now, one of the disadvantages of this is if you can kind of see the roads here, they don't really connect anywhere. So if you're living back here, you've got to go all the way around. the airport in order to get to anything. So there's a little bit longer of a drive there, although it is a very beautiful drive. There's some gorgeous homes along this water. So as you're kind of going around it, you've got a good view at least. So that's sort of this section over here. You do have quick access to Holiday Isle, which is this area right here. It's kind of hard to tell, but this originally was an island. That's why it's called Holiday Isle. We actually dredged this portion out right here. The East Pass is what it's called, and we moved all of that over here where the bridge, well, it's not even a bridge, it just seems like it is just a road going through now at this point. We actually filled that in from sand we pulled from the East Pass to create this amazing harbor right here where, you know, most of the boats are docked. Oh, I'm not in Google anymore. Let me go back to Google so I can show you. So you can see this harbor here. You've got a ton of boat storage here. Because it does protect the boats from the waves and the winds whenever they come in. So I think that's most of the stuff I wanted to talk about in this section as far as the neighborhoods and stuff. We'll go over some extra stuff here in a little bit. You've got quick access to things. You've got McGuire's right over here. That's got the little shopping center in it as well. So if there's other places you wanted to go to in there, but this is going to be a little bit more laid back lifestyle. It's going to be, you know, a little less luxury because you can get in so inexpensively in this area. But then there are luxurious portions, which brings me to Kelly Plantation. So you can see Kelly Plantation Golf Club right here. You can kind of see some of the holes here. This is my favorite one. Look at this. Imagine hitting onto this thing. This is where the hole is. This is where you're teeing off. You got a beautiful view of this bay and the bridge, and it's just gorgeous. Kelly Plantation has a lot of really cool things about it. First and foremost, it's a golf community, as I mentioned. Second, it's a more luxurious community as well. You've got gate guards in the main entrances, and then you've even got some in some of the smaller subsets as well. And one of my favorite things about Kelly Plantation that a lot of people don't really talk about, and it's kind of hard to find, is right here is One Water Place. It's a series of 3 different towers that has everything you could possibly want. I mean, short of having a grocery store in it, it has everything. There's cigar rooms and movie theaters and a garden, like a community garden that people like subsection out their own little area, and you can build whatever you want in it. So it kind of feels like you're in a home, but you're in a condo. And some of these are huge where you're getting like a third of the entire floor, depending on kind of where you're at. You've got some options for sunrise views, some sunset views, really cool thing. And I'm not even scratching the surface on all the amenities. I'm talking like batting cages. There's like one of those golf simulator things. There's, you know, what do you call it? Foosball and pool and little cigar. I think I said cigar smoking room, wine. There's a little winery thing down there too. It's just really stinking cool. But Kelly Plantation in of itself is a very cool community as well. I'm going to go to and show you guys some of the houses here. And this might help you see, oops, I spelled that wrong. So we got 10 properties here. Actually, let me pull up that map. I want to show you guys where it's at. So you can kind of see this whole neighborhood here. I mean, it literally, from about right here, it goes up just a little bit. There's some businesses down here. Let me go back to this one. So you can see some of the businesses down here, but this is one of the entrance points. And you can kind of see how extensive this neighborhood is. It's coming all the way back here, all the way over here. Very big neighborhood. There's only 10 properties in here for sale at the moment. A couple of them are waterfront, so we're going to see some high prices here. They're already sorted for us, so you can see that the lowest price one that we have as of right now is just shy of 1.1 million. And we can kind of look at this. So if you're looking for a little bit more luxury, this one is on a lake. Beautiful home. Kelly Plantation doesn't spare expenses for this stuff. They keep it they keep the HOA in general keeps everything very well intact. And the houses are typically beautiful. It's a little bit newer of a neighborhood, as you can see here. You've got 1999, which is about when this was, 1990 to about 2005 for the most part. 97, 2017, so this one's newer. 96. So you can kind of see, a little bit in 90s to early 2000s for the most part. There are some new construction and stuff in here as well. But you are going to be looking at paying about $1 million to get in here. Now, there are definitely some that are less expensive than that. If I go here to the solds, we'll actually see some over the last year here. You got about 818,000, and this looks like it's a townhome. So prices have definitely risen in here. I remember when I first started in real estate, you could get into Kelly Plantation for like $500,000. Definitely can't do that anymore. And those were homes too. That wasn't just townhomes. But as you can see, there's a 900K here. So if that's the price range that you're looking for, and you're looking for that luxury, you want gate guards, you want security, you want to really get to know your neighbors, Kelly Plantation is a really good one for that. Every single time I'm in there, I had a good friend that lived up there. And every single time I was there, everybody's so stinking friendly. Everybody's so nice to you. To me, it felt, I'm going to be completely honest, felt on the bordering of almost nosy, but like friendly nosy. Like they're trying to get to know who you are. They want to make sure everything's good. If you haven't been there in a while, like they're going to say something, hey, I haven't seen your truck there. You go on a trip, everything good. So very friendly, but there is an HOA here. And depending on the property, it's $900 per quarter. You can kind of see that. This one's $1,700 per quarter. So it just kind of depends on the property that you're purchasing on how much it's going to be. But still very cool. Lots and lots of stuff to do around here. And you're right next door to the Commons right here. So the Destin Commons has a ton of outlets, ton of shopping and stuff. There's a movie theater over here, Bass Pro Shop. And then you've got some on this side as well. I don't actually know if this is considered the Commons. I generally just think of this area on the right side of 293. I generally consider that side Commons. Maybe this is technically part of it. I'm not 100% sure, but there's a Publix here. You've got a great little pizza spot over here somewhere. I think it's called Jets or something like that. You've got a little liquor store over here, Men's Warehouse. It's just a bunch of cool little things popping in and out. A GNC, Club Pilates if you're into that. Joanne's Thai Basil Crumble Cookies. I didn't even know this opened up here. This actually used to be a seafood place. I'm actually wondering what happened to that. I did not know that they changed, but it's been a little bit since I've been out there. Generally, when I go to the Commons, I'm sticking on this right side in general. So that is the northwest portion. I know it took a little bit of time there because that's the one. There's just so much going on here that I wanted to spend a little extra time on it. So let's go ahead and look at the northeast portion where you've got Emerald Bay Golf Club, you've got Regatta Bay. Emerald Bay is super cool. There's about three neighborhoods all along here that are all really cool. You got Regatta Bay, which is one of the better ones. Actually, one of my buddies swears by this golf course. He says he likes it better than Kelly Plantation. Which I don't know. I haven't actually been to this one, and I haven't been to Kelly Plantation one in a long time. It's a little bit pricey, and I'm not good enough to spend that kind of money to spend, $120 or whatever it is to go lose 15 balls. I need to go on a rec course kind of thing. But you've got the legendary marina up here. You've got, as I mentioned before, the Destin Commons on this side. You've got Lowe's, Whole Foods. I make trips up here all the time to go to Whole Foods because I just like their stuff better. I currently live in Fort Walton Beach, so it is, one town over. It takes about 20-30 minutes to get to, so it's not that bad. But as you can see here, another great golf neighborhood here, Regatta Bay. Beautiful, beautiful homes. Let's go ahead and pull some of these up here. Let's go back to actives. I want to see what's actively on the market right now in Regatta Bay. All right, we got 8 properties here. Oops, I meant to go to detail. Oh, here, let me go to the map first. I keep skipping this over. So now you can kind of get a better understanding of the footprint of where it is. It's actually going all the way to about here. There's just not anything for sale over there right now before it goes into the next neighborhood. But let's go ahead and take a look at these. We got some that look like they're here on the water, so these are going to be a little bit pricey. Oops. All right, let's look at it. It's already cycled for us, so just shy of $800,000 for a 3-bath townhome is kind of the entry level of what is there right now. Looks like a stucco property, cool little pool. I like this style where it's got kind of the courtyard and stuff. That's actually really cool. And then of course it scales up from there all the way to about $5 million. This one's on the water, of course, long dock, huge. It's probably a 4,000 square foot home. 6,000, jeez, this thing is a monster. 6,000 square feet, 6'6". And then, of course, everything in between. But again, it's Regatta Bay, so at the end of the day, you're probably going to need to be bordering on that $1 million price point as of the time shooting this, which is in October of 24. So you can kind of see, the style. You've got, a lot of stucco homes. This one's built in 2006. These were built in 2001. So a little bit newer of a neighborhood than Kelly Plantation. I think they started building in here in the late 90s, if I remember correctly. And then you've got them all the way up to 2020. You even have some new construction and stuff going up there too. So it's not just these. In fact, here's one right here. So you got kind of the Spanish style, contemporary style here. At least that's how they've got it labeled. It looks more like Spanish villa to me, but maybe I'm missing it. Oh, very cool. I love these I love it when they do these courtyards. It's like one of my favorite things. You got these big bay windows that open up, you know, for a mere $2.6 million. If that's in your price point, you can definitely get some options here in Regatta Bay and get that. Oops. I didn't even know how I did that. But you can kind of see the differences there. When we go back to the map here, kind of give you a little bit more about this area. You've got the school over here, the Destin Middle School. Outstanding, outstanding school. My old business partner actually used to take her kid there whenever she was in middle school. And they live in Fort Walton Beach. She did all the paperwork to get her over there because it's just that good of a school. Fort Walton Beach's schools are very good too, but the Destin Middle School, apparently was better for her. I don't have kids, so I don't really know, the intricate details of it, but it definitely ranks very well. You've got the marina up here if you're looking for a place to protect your boat from. You can do that there in Legendary Marina. And then this would be your access right here into Choctawhatchee Bay. I can never say that right. Choctawhatchee Bay. And then most of this is on this side is going to be mainly Regatta Bay and then Emerald Bay right next to it. And then it keeps going, but now we're kind of entering into Miramar, which I don't want to touch on too much. I do want to touch on while we're over here because I don't want to forget this for shopping purposes. We've got the Commons, we've got this area down here that we're going to talk about, which doesn't have too much shopping, but there's a little bit. But there is one other area that I really like to point out, and that is right here. The Silver Sands Premium Outlets. If you've ever visited here and you got the shopping bug while you were out here, I can almost guarantee you this popped up on one of your searches. It is huge. This little satellite does not do it justice. Let's drop our little guy here and kind of see. You've got, and this is just like one little section. It wraps around. It's kind of hard to see right there, but it keeps wrapping around, keeps going over here. And this is a bunch of very big named brands. As you can see, Under Armour, Oasis, Oakley. Let's see if I can go. Oh no, I thought that was going to let me. Reebok over there. Let's see if I can move us. No, oh my gosh. I don't know. Oh, all right. I'm trying to get my bearings here. There we go. Google's being fun today. You got Ralph Lauren. You've got, here we go. This is what I was looking for. Take us on a little drive here. Banana Republic. Get out of my way, car. You got this cool little square here. Sometimes I'll have like a little ice cream place here, which is pretty cool. Actually, it might be right here. So lots of cool brands, lots of cool shopping. I don't want to spend too much more time on that, because this is technically Miramar Beach. But if you're in Destin, as you can see, it's a short drive, maybe 10 minutes. With traffic, it might be a little bit more. But for the most part, the traffic kind of dies off in Sandestin going into Miramar Beach. All right, coming back to this, going back into the west side, got a couple of different golf courses here to choose from. As I mentioned before, you've got the Emerald Bay Golf Club as well, and then you've got some houses surrounding that. So let's go ahead and move on to, let's go ahead and move on to the southeast portion. So this is going to be where one of the other neighborhoods are that I want to talk about, which is Crystal Beach. Let's go ahead and pull up some of those here so you guys can see that. So you've got 20 properties here in Crystal Beach. This is going to be, this whole section right here is Crystal Beach. If you're looking for, damn it, I can't talk. So this whole section here is Crystal Beach. If you're looking for that luxury feel with the houses and that beach feel, right? It just feels like a beach town without going all the way into 30A and spending the money that you do out there, then Crystal Beach is a great place for you. Now, the properties here are starting in the millions as of right now, again, October of 24, and they scale all the way up to about 4 million. And of course, they can go a lot higher than that depending, and they can definitely go a little bit lower than that, but we just don't have any actively on the market right now. This is going to give you kind of a cool, more like relaxed vibes where it feels like a little beach town, but your neighbors, aren't bugging you all the time. They're very friendly there, but nobody's jumping in front of you, trying to figure out what you're doing all day or anything like that. And then of course for those that don't want a home assessment, an HOA, this is a great area for you as well. Same with the kind of the northwest portion, which I didn't really mention when I was up there. But as you can see, I'll go through one of these random properties, 1.3, kind of show you this. This is a 5-bed, 5-bath, 2,300 square feet, built in 95. So that's about where the neighborhoods are going to be for the most part out here. It's going to be everything from about 1990s all the way up to brand new construction. So as you can see, kind of the trees and everything that they've got and the style of the house in general kind of gives it that beachy feel. Like you feel like you're about to walk to the beach, which you definitely could out here. In fact, a lot of these in this neighborhood are vacation rentals. In fact, the way this one is dressed, this one might be as well. It's kind of hard to tell. But very beautiful, very modern. You got kind of a cool little look that is almost to the water. You can almost see it if some of those buildings are out of the way. But that's kind of what you can expect here in Crystal Beach. And you got a bunch of shops and everything up here just north of it. You got some little smaller neighborhoods, you know, as you can kind of see right here. You got Kelwyn Circle right here, another smaller neighborhood. So there's a bunch of these kind of little tucked away neighborhoods as well. So if Crystal Beach isn't something that you want, great, cool. You know, there's definitely other neighborhoods we can help you find. And then you've got a bunch of condos down here spanning the entire length of the beach. So most of this will have public beach access somewhere, and they're kind of all over the place. And when I say somewhere, it's, you know, it just depends on which side of Crystal Beach you're on. But you've got like a public beach access right here, as you can see. You've got a couple others as we're kind of going. I'm not sure why the screen was like that, but that is the southeast portion of Destin. You've got quick access to Highway 98, just like you do anywhere in Destin. You know, that's one of the big advantages here. So that you can get out wherever you need to go to the golf course, go to the boardwalk, or what have you. And then, of course, you've got Henderson Beach State Park. Cool little area here. You've got some areas over here for RVs and stuff. You've got, of course, all of the public beach access out here. And you've got these little pavilions and stuff here. Tons and tons of parking. Occasionally, they actually get filled up. It's really surprising. But you know, people want to go to the beach, so I can't really blame them. So you can get right into Henderson from right here. Oops, I was trying to zoom out and not zoom in. And you got some walking trails and stuff back in here as well. Cool little spot. Great spot to go to the beach. It is going to be a little bit more crowded here than it might be over here by your condos. It just kind of depends on, you know, what time of year it is, what have you. Most of the people that are living here, the locals are going to use their own section of the beach right here, whereas people will drive from Niceville, they'll drive from Fort Walton Beach, you know, 30A, Sandestin, stuff like that, to go to this beach. So that's why it can get more packed. But when it's off season, it's like a ghost town over here. Very few people are going there except for some of the locals. So that's always a nice little bonus there. All right, now moving on over into the you know, southern or southwest side. This part's so cool because there's so much to talk about just crammed into this little area. And I say crammed, I mean, like, yeah, some of the houses are actually pretty close together, but for the most part, there's just a lot packed into this one little area, which is super cool. If you guys have been watching this channel for a while, you've seen us mention some of this area like Sandpiper Cove. This is Sandpiper Cove right here, this whole little area right here. You've got a restaurant up here, Louisiana Lignap. We'll link to that video up here. The little gray card will pop up. You can click on it. It'll take you to that video. But make sure you finish watching the rest of this video because I have some cool stuff to talk about at the end. So this is Sandpiper Cove. Very big. It's something like, I don't even know how many acres. I don't have it memorized anymore. When we were doing the video, of course I did. But it's got pickleball and tennis and, you know, this cool little area. And it's got these canals that you can take your boat right into the harbor there. And then it's even got a Gulf side on it. So this is a gated community here. You can kind of see the little gate guy right here, or the little gate building. I don't know why it's so bright when I zoom in like that. It's so strange. Oh, because I'm not on Google Maps again. I'm wondering why it was like acting so funky on me. All right, so now we're back. So yeah, you can see the Gulf side right here. So you've got some condos here as well. These will range anywhere from studios all the way up to 3-bed, 3-bath units. Some of them do have little parking garages underneath as well. Got like 7 pools or something here. Don't quote me on that. It might be 6 or something. There's laundry on site. And then, of course, you've got Rick's Sand Trap over here on the Gulf side that you can go over here and grab a nice beverage. If you're hanging out here at the beach, you can walk up here, grab yourself a margarita or whatever you're drinking, and enjoy your day. And then, so this is all Holiday Isle. So remember when I said we brought in all of that sand, that's what all of this section was here. So this used to be a part of the island, Okaloosa Island, which is on this side, before we drudged it out in the 40s, I think it was, and moved all of that to here, as well as over here, which is known as Crab Island. If you visited us, I'm very confident you know exactly what Crab Island is. It's a sandbar. It's anywhere from about 2 feet deep to about 8 feet deep if you're kind of on the outskirts. But for the most part, you're walking around and it's going up to about my hip almost everywhere. You don't see any boats here right now, but it's packed with boats. We've got water taxis out there. There's a couple of floating bars, floating restaurants. There's even a floating general store out there. They put some of those really big, like inflatables up for the kiddos, stuff like that. But this isn't a Crab Island video. We do have Crab Island videos. If you go to our channel and just search Crab Island, you'll see it come up. Or actually, if you just search YouTube in general and type Crab Island, I think our video is one of the first ones that pops up. But let's get into this. This whole area of Holiday Isle has condos, townhomes, single-family homes. It's got everything. It's got absolutely everything. They've built a ton of these little canals here around these homes so that it's primarily, meant for people that want their boats. As you can see, there's boats in almost every single one of these. That's because that's one of the biggest benefits of living here in this area. All of these are single-family homes. You got some condos here on the south side. That's what all of these are. So Jetty East, the Islander, Holiday Surf and Racket Club, which is super cool if you like tennis, because the entire thing is centered around these two courts. And so there's just people just watching people play tennis all day. It's so cool. And there's a bunch, I could tell you really cool insights on a bunch of these different condos. Obviously, I don't want to bore you with all of that in this video. If you guys give us a call and you're looking for a condo in Destin, maybe the cash flows, or maybe you just want it for yourself for the future, we can definitely help you out with that. But I'm not going to sit here and drone on and on about all these condos, but there's some really cool ones. And then, of course, it goes all the way over here, and there's a marina, and then you've got the Noriega Beach access and Noriega Point, which has to get redone like every 10 to 20 years. They just redid it a couple of years ago. It was a huge project. Oh, cool, like a little water taxi. So if you want to get up to Crab Island, there's water taxis here. You could literally just have them come pick you up, and they'll take you right out there. And some of them even have like what do you call it? A boat or two out there with shade and stuff that you can go over there and kind of relax whenever you're not floating around in the water. So on this side too, you also got the Harbor Walk. So this is where a lot of the good restaurants are, a lot of the good businesses. Beauchamp's is out here. Harbor Dock, one of my personal favorites is Harbor Dock. Go there for lunch, don't go there for dinner, because it's the exact same menu, but for lunch it's like half the price of what it would be at dinner. But you're literally watching them take the fish right off of the boat, and that's what they're cooking up. Their menu changes all the time at Harbor Docks, and they normally have they've got a bunch of stuff that sits there all the time, like sushi and a couple of plates that are just there year round. And then the rest of them are creations from the chef that they, have 4 or 5 different meals out based on what is trending out in the oceans right then. So, if it's redfish season, like they've got more redfish recipes. If it's, shrimp season, they got more, whatever it is, they kind of tailor the menu around there. It's so good. But there's a bunch of those all along this. And then, of course, we've got the infamous Harbor Walk right here by the Emerald Grand. Emerald Grand is a huge condo complex. You've got some great condos in there as well. They are going to be on the pricier end. Let's go ahead and look at what they are right now. They're 16 right now. Oh, here. So these are the big towers that you see as you're driving in. You can see them all the way from Fort Walton Beach. They're huge. They've got a bunch of restaurants in here as well. The elevator system seems a little bit messed up in here. I get lost in here all the time, and I sell in here a lot. It took me a while to kind of get used to it, but very, very cool. You can walk right out, right onto the Harbor Walk. So all of the cool events that they're doing at the Harbor Walk, you can be there in front of the action. Now, let's look at these prices. You've got it starting at $700,000, just shy of $700,000, going all the way up to about $1.5 million. So, a little bit on the higher end here, but it is the Emerald Grand after all. With everything that they offer, you're getting these amazing views, and they cash flow like crazy. So if you're looking for a good cash flow property, Emerald Grande is always a good option, but it's not always the best option. There's definitely some really cool ones that a lot of people sleep on that we can definitely help you, hook you up with if that's what you're looking for. So you can kind of see the price range there. Let me go back to my Google Maps here. You've got all of this is all the parking for the Harbor Walk. You've got Margaritaville and the Oyster House, and AJ's is a really good one. You got the Red Bar, you know, if you want to go for a little drink and meet some of the locals, a lot of the locals go there. There's just a ton down here, and it's all walkable. You can kind of see it all down here. They'll do fairs here. They'll do tacos and tequila here. They'll do brew fest or craft-a-thons here. They do whiskey tastings, tequila tastings. Where it's kind of like that. It's almost like this little fair right on the water, right? You'll have some stuff. It won't be as many rides as like a fair. So I guess a fair isn't the best example. It's a festival, right? So a ton of cool stuff going on there. So that's your southeast side. Now, when we're looking at some of the other things that I wanted to talk about, we went over a bunch of cool neighborhoods. We went over the Destin Harbor and the Harbor Walk. We went over Crab Island. I'm just looking at my notes here, guys. I want to make sure I hit everything for you guys. By the way, if you guys don't hear something in this video that you did want to learn about, please comment it down below. Don't leave me hanging. Put the comment down below. Let me know so that I can make sure it's in our next Destin video or in future videos for other towns as well. So if you're interested in a different town, you want me to do this map tour for a different town, cool, let me know. If you guys don't comment, I don't know where to go on these videos all the time, right? I mean, I do, but I want to make sure that it's tailored to what you guys are looking for. We talked about the golf courses, shopping and dining. We talked about some of the schools. At the end of the day, the Okaloosa County School District is a very good school district. We could sit here and go through and look at all the ratings of all the schools. You can search that on your own as well if you'd like. We've got great schools out here. In general, outdoor activities, we've obviously got fishing, we've got boating, water sports, we've got all of that stuff right here in this little section. And depending on what part of Destin you choose, you'll have access to all of that. You'll have calmer waters here in the Choctawhatchee Bay. And then you've got the Sound that you can go through where the waters are even more calm. And it's all drudged out and stuff. So sometimes you can see these really big barges going through, which is like my favorite when I'm on a jet ski out there, because I like taking my jet ski up and down the Sound, or like a rental jet ski. I don't have one myself. I'm too lazy to clean them, but I rent them and I like going out there and these huge barges are going there and they're just like trucking right along. It's so cool to see. And then of course you got the calm waters in the bay, the East Pass. The East Pass, please do not go through it unless you are a very experienced boater. Take a captain with you if you're going to go through this pass. This pass is very dangerous. I read somewhere that it was like one of the most dangerous passes in the United States, or one of the most dangerous passes in this area. And the reason being is because we messed with Mother Nature and we drudged it all out so that we could create this cool harbor here, and we shouldn't have done that. So some of the waters at the bottom and some of the waters at the top, they're always clashing. So depending on what tide is, the bottom of the water is trying to move, top of the water is trying to move, and it causes a lot of ruckus. So don't go through it unless you're an experienced boater, please. And make sure you're following all the rules. There's always accidents out there, and these idiots on jet skis and stuff trying to use your wake to jump and stuff like that. If you're one of those people, please stop. It's dangerous out there. You guys are getting hit. It's not cool. And then, of course, you've got the Gulf of Mexico, where you can go less than a mile out to get to some of the greatest fishing in the world, which is why Destin is named the luckiest fishing village. Let's see. We have snorkeling and scuba diving. Actually, I wonder if we could see any of it. No, probably not. So sometimes they'll sink stuff out there to create artificial reefs. Like we just sunk some boat of some sort out there to create an artificial reef and kind of help stir the environment. It's great snorkeling from what I hear, great scuba diving from what I hear. I don't personally like being under the water, so I don't do either one of those things. I'm going to have to do it at some point. We talked about the real estate market in general too, and just kind of some of the home prices. At the end of the day here, actually, let me do this. Let's just look at everything in Destin. Let's not even go through the neighborhood and just kind of show you guys. We got 772 homes for sale in Destin. You know, it's a small town of about 14,000 people that swells up to like 90,000 during the peak months. But there's 772 different properties for sale. And when we're looking at this, they're starting, as I said, $185, and I think I already kind of went through that. But if you want to see kind of what an average home, let's look at like a $400,000 or $500,000 home, because that's kind of like right in the midpoint. Actually, I just want single family homes. So hold on, I'm going to do this real quick. We're just going to go to detached single family. I just want to show you guys single family homes. And there's 213, so as you can see, a ton of townhomes. More importantly, a ton of condos. So here we are, single family home starting at $325,000 on Bent Air. This is such a really cool little neighborhood called Indian Oaks. I got a couple of clients that live out there. It's kind of a fun little neighborhood. Now, obviously, this is the least expensive single family home in Destin, so it could use a little bit of updating. Kind of see the orange floors here, but still, even for it being a little bit dated, I mean, $325,000 to get into Destin, one of the most beautiful places on the planet, like not too shabby at all. So we kind of get into, I sort of took a detour there. Let's go into, let's see, kind of like an average property is 400,000. Let's see where this one is at. Looks like it is in Sea Hills. Yep. Okay. So Sea Hills, little tiny neighborhood, 2-car garage, LVP flooring. Looks like raised ceilings. Look like they took the popcorn out. You got kind of the galley kitchen, which a lot of people aren't a big fan of, but it definitely gets the job done. We've got cool little living space right here. That one is carpeted, same with some of the bedrooms. So nothing too fancy, but of course we weren't looking for fancy. We were looking for middle of the road. This is kind of what you can expect here in Destin. If you want, I don't know why they put this picture in here. Holy cow. But if you are interested, as I mentioned before, we are real estate agents first. I run a real estate team here in the area, so you can always call us. All of my information again. If you didn't write it down now. Don't forget it. All right. I think that was everything I wanted to go over. Please, as I mentioned before, if you guys have anything that you would like me to go over, put it down below. Let me know. Don't be a stranger. Jump up in the comments. We love talking to you guys. That is me responding almost every single time. About 10% of the time, one of my assistants gets to it before I do, but for the most part, I get that notification and it's me responding. So if you want to talk to me directly, that is a great way to do it. We also have a Calendly link in the description below this video. If you just want to jump on my calendar or jump on one of my team members' calendars, kind of talk about where to go, where do you want to move? Even if you're a year or two out, we generally suggest trying to start narrowing it down so that you can start watching the home prices in the area with the lifestyle vibe that you want, so that when it is time for you to purchase, you already know, and you've been watching the prices and you know what a good deal is and what isn't. We will obviously help you with that, but it does really help for you guys to kind of pinpoint this stuff down, and that's what we do. We can jump up on a map. We can show you guys different areas. We can, show you different videos of different areas as well, kind of give you guys the lifestyle so that you're getting exactly what you want. So you're not just flying down here blind going, I don't know, I just need a house in Destin somewhere. This is where I want to live. It's my dream. Like, okay, cool. Well, let's really narrow this down and get a neighborhood that you really like. So I appreciate you guys watching. As I mentioned, if you guys have any questions, put it down in the comments below, or of course you can reach out to me right here with all of my information. We'll see you guys in the next one.